Rolling, rolling, rolling. All right. We got the top 10 knocked out. We hate the Eagles. Everyone else took solid big picks or flyers on these quarterbacks. But anyway it shakes out, I think your four quarterbacks are gone in the top 10. We're not doing any trades, but that could have something to do with it as well. And that, you know, ends up being a spicy next section. So pick 11, the Titans, they could go a lot of ways, right? But they rebuild big men, kept Simmons on the D line, and they take another cornerstone piece this high in the draft and rebuild the right way, right? It's verbal and it's big men and it's tough and it's Steelers-esque for me. And Broderick Jones is my favorite tackle in this class. I could watch Broderick Jones college tape all day, every day. It is an absolute pleasure, right? He is 6'5", 315 pounds, and he looks like a young Tyron Smith, right? He moves so fast and easy, he almost overplays because he's getting there so much faster than the defensive player, and he is so quick and so athletic. I mean, he literally looks like a middle linebacker, right? That's considerably smaller, just the way that he's built. Just he could put on even more mass and really be a difference maker. But I just he's a specimen, and he's my favorite tackle, period. And so he's gone at 11, and rightfully so, unless he wants to slide to 26. And then the fun, all right? Get your bets in, get your prop bets in. Fifth quarterback goes to the Texans at 12, Hendon Hooker. They go defensive cornerstone and surprise quarterback. People think he could sneak into the first or whatever. This is a blatant hot take. So take it for what it's worth. But Texans had a hell of a draft if you look through, and this is only half of it, as we get going here. But Green Bay takes a wide receiver for the first time like ever in the first round. Jackson Smith Enigma, I think, is the best wide receiver in the class. Obviously, I'm a big Zay fan, but and I think Quentin Johnson could turn out to be great. There's no way he's Laquan Treadwell, right? But for some reason, man, I wouldn't pull the trigger on that, but we'll just leave that as that. JSN, best wide receiver in the class. I just think the route running and the precision and the crispiness, it's not the fastest, and it's not the over-the-top burner necessarily, and it's not the, any one specific thing. I just think highest floor. He's going to come in and produce as a dub 2 plus day one. I think he's an absolute professional and he's ready, which is the most important piece of the puzzle for most teams, right? I'm not we're not sandbagging picks for 3 years to be good. I think he immediately comes in and contributes with a rookie-esque quarterback and is his best freaking friend. I mean, I'm talking nonstop, target that guy. If and when in doubt, throw it to JSN, right? And that's what we're looking for there. I think it's just a rock steady guy and pick and character and talent. Is he going to be the best wide receiver in the class? I don't know, but I certainly think that his targets, production, and skills will translate immediately. Yeah, totally forgot what I was going to say. It's a little early for me on this stuff, but Josh Downs would be the other one, right? I just think those are both insanely quarterback friendly players. I think they are crisp professionals and will be where you need them to be, run it the way you need them to run it, catch it when you need them to catch it, get that little extra space for that quarterback margin of error early on. So that's enough. Patriots are always weird, right? I got the Belichick hoodie on today, so we're going Grim Reaper mode a la Patrick Mahomes. Um, Brian Branch is just an overall insanely great player on the back end, can do it all and do it all well. And he isn't getting a ton of talk. I guess that's because he's a safety, maybe, and it's not a wow class, maybe. But Alabama, Belichick, Saban, professional, they need a lot of crap, and they probably should be building the offense. But this is a defense first team coach philosophy, and we're going to stack the defense back up. You lose Devin McCourty, is that right? Longtime stud out there, and this is his replacement ish. Jets, thank God, take Michael Mayer, so I don't have to worry about it at 26. Mark Andrews-esque, right? I think he's going to be insanely solid. He just doesn't wow me. And at this point, I'm looking for elite separation, and I don't see that. And I don't put as big of an emphasis on blocking. And I want fast, smooth, Dalton Kincaid style play across the board. I'm going to be able to get weird and stick him way out wide. I want him running drag slants, flowing, cross, and yak plays. No stops and dumps to my tight end, yada, yada. I want it flowing, West Coast down the field, okay? And that's not Michael Mayer for me. And they grab him because he's rock steady, and they have really loaded up wide receiver, Aaron Rodgers, congrats. Defense is yoked and stacked. It feels like a decent choice there. And then, unfortunately, the Washington Commanders get Darnell Wright. I'm a big fan of his. I have been since he jumped off the screen at me at the Senior Bowl. I said, who the hell is that guy on the end nobody's talking about? And then I watched him all through the week when I went back through the Senior Bowl practices and then tape. I just think he's super solid. I'm not a professional, and I don't know if he's a top 15 pick ish, but I like him a lot. I mean, I have him as like my fourth or fifth tackle, and he could maybe play guard. I wonder about switching him immediately to the left side, and I may overemphasize that, but I think it's important. The sides are almost more important than the guard to tackle, which is really crazy if you think about it. But that's my recency bias and observation. Like everybody was dogging, thinking Tyron Smith had lost a step and wasn't his old self. But I think literally that mirror programmed behavior that you've done for 15 years, 20, 30 years of your life, and you got to flip it. That is not just a gimme. So it'd be interesting to see how that shakes out. But Devin Witherspoon is my number one cornerback, and so that's who the Steelers take. Sorry, guys. I know you want JPJ. But Witherspoon's a dog, and he has Mike Tomlin written all over him. He has Steeler written all over him. They actually had a pretty gangster draft in this as well. So keep tuning in. I'm just going to keep dumping these throughout the day till we get to draft time. And unfortunately or fortunately, if you're not a fan of medical red tags on your board, Dalton Kincaid is a new electric weapon for CJ Stroud and this new, hey, let's have some fun Detroit Lions. All right. Who doesn't love their uniforms, their colors? I talked a lot of crap defending Micah about talking crap about Detroit. I've been there. My last company I actually worked with, mortgage company, uh, is based out of Troy, Michigan. So I have a lot of respect for it. I don't want to live there, okay? But they have party stores and Detroit style pizza. Pretty cool up north. Uh, like a short travel summer winter getaway uh, type thing up on the peninsula is like a weird cool thing. It's worth a trip. It's worth a Google. And you can be right there on the lake, which is pretty cool, kind of like Chicago and stuff. Um, but that's enough. I love you, Detroit. I think you're gonna take the division actually, and I love Dan Campbell. So let's freaking go. Bucks take Miles Murphy, best player on the board. Another one that people are just letting slide, just embarrassingly. Like the kid isn't wasn't testing history production. Like just don't be disrespectful to these guys, right? Because you got a new hot name of the week and you've been mocking all over town. He needs to go there, and they need to rebuild again with some cornerstone badass edge, line, your bread and butter stuff. You build from the big men out, usually, and that's correct. Seahawks is kind of a flyer. I took Jordan Addison as the top wide receiver that I had there just for some fun. They went obviously best D line in the draft, and they'll go back to that well for D line, and some offensive line to strengthen those. But Jordan Addison, right about here, again, oh, his testing is so bad. Go watch the frickin' tape, right? Me, I wouldn't take Addison. I would try and take Tank Dell just because he's my favorite. Lightning in a bottle, electric, take it to the house type of a dude. But I think a lot of people see that in Addison as well. He's not my guy, but I think he is potentially going to go in the first round regardless. Miami is getting high with Laramie Tunsil today, I believe. And do they need any help? No. They just need poor Tua to stay healthy. I love the Dolphins. I think I'm going to buy my kid a Dolphin jersey. I think I said in the last video, that's my one game I really, really want to go to. Love Miami. Never been to Hard Rock Stadium. And I would like to go watch the Cowboys play as long as it is in like October, November, December. Like it to be a little cooler. And that is 10 more picks. I'm going to pause it right there. You can see a little cheater action. I'll see you in a minute.